flat steel coils go in one end, and perfect roofing panels roll out the other at up to 40 meters per minute, enough to tile a house roof while you're still drinking your morning coffee. Like a giant monster, this massive log breakdown line spins heavy-duty circular saws to split huge timber trunks into clean boards in mere seconds. 25-kilogram butter blocks get wire cut into uniform portions at up to 1,900 kilograms per hour. A pneumatic heart passes through the block, and it's done before the next one's even loaded. A fiber laser burns a perfectly repeating mesh pattern into a steel sheet with 0.1 millimeter accuracy, moving it up to 100 meters per minute without touching the metal. This massive hydraulic rolling machine bends thick structural steel plates into perfect giant cylinders for heavy industrial storage tanks. Minipan's O-Matic 600 shapes Tarali, bagels, and ring bread snacks one after another with full PLC control, handling trays up to 600 millimeters wide without stopping. These steel wires wrap around a flexible hose core at up to 98 meters per hour, locking every coil into a tight, pressure-resistant braid built to last decades. Laser denim finishing replaced 18 to 24 chemical process steps with just 3 and fades a full pair of jeans in 90 seconds instead of 20 minutes, using 0 water or chemicals. Industrial cone lines can produce 3,000 chocolate-dipped cones per hour. Hot wafer meets molten chocolate, then a cascade of sprinkles seals the deal. Molten iron poured into sand molds, cooled, then machined to exact tolerances. That's how every cast iron weight plate for your barbell comes into existence. Color, shape, or material type. Such optical sensors sort thousands of plastic containers per hour with better accuracy than any human hand ever could. Minced meat disappears into a casing at up to 8,700 kilograms per hour on industrial vacuum stuffers, twisted into perfect links at 600 portions per minute. Watch raw logs spin against a razor-sharp peeling lathe, flawlessly unraveling into continuous paper-thin wood sheets for premium plywood manufacturing. What once took 5 hours of jackhammering and backbreaking labor, the Mr. Manhole B52 cutter does in 10 minutes, cutting a perfect circle through asphalt using 16 carbide teeth. Watching this heavy ZDAS hydraulic press effortlessly smash and shape a glowing, red-hot 1200 degrees C steel shaft feels completely hypnotic. With a cycle time of just 4.5 seconds and 42 tons of splitting force, commercial log splitters like this crank out up to 3 cords of firewood per hour, log after log. Each rice cracker is hand-pressed and slow-baked to a perfect golden snap. Same centuries-old craft, same patient process. Now scaled to 5,000 kilograms a day. A tire debeater strips steel bead wire from scrap tires in 30 to 60 seconds each. It's that powerful! Strips of living turf peel off the field like rolls of carpet and stack themselves onto pallets. A single sod harvester can cut up to 2,000 square meters daily. The wire slices through soft cheese so cleanly for a reason. Industrial ultrasonic cheese cutters achieve tolerances of plus or minus 2% per portion at full production speed. Up to 3 tons of aluminum cans per hour crushed into dense, stackable bales under 250 tons of hydraulic pressure. Recycling has never looked this satisfying. Watch a road sweeping brush attachment turn a filthy track into a clean surface in seconds. Holmes builds these since 1927, and they've clearly been perfecting it ever since. Liquid slag exits the steelmaking furnace at up to 1600 degrees Celsius, and watching it pour in a glowing river is one of the most hypnotic things industry has to offer. Underground road headers chew through solid rock at 400 kilowatts, carving mine tunnels at up to 52 meters per week. No explosives needed. Construction debris fed in, shredded to chunks under 120 millimeters in one pass. Industrial shredders process up to 100 tons of rubble per hour. This is foam carved into ornate cornices, then coated in cement. Looks like solid stone, but weighs 90% less. Steel bar heated, bent link by link, flash welded shut, then proof loaded. This single offshore mooring chain withstands millions of newtons. A massive industrial slicer shaves heavy hardwood slabs with hypnotic flow, leaving behind a perfectly smooth, glass-like finish. Witness how Ponzi Harvester grabs a tree, fells it, strips every branch, and cuts it to length. The whole thing takes about 20 seconds. That's how 30 tons of scrap rubber is recycled per hour into usable crumb. Whole tires fed in, shredded, granulated, steel separated by magnets. Industrial dumping machines crank out up to 1,200 perfectly folded pieces per hour, each one sealed with the same pleated finish that takes a skilled human minutes to achieve by hand. Wire up to 150 millimeters thick gets heated to 900 degrees C and then coiled around a mandrel. These suspension springs hold up trucks. They earn every second of that process. Dozens of spindles orbit each other in a hypnotic spiral, braiding rope at up to 600 meters per hour. Ancient craft, but at ruthless speed. Watch a giant peeling lathe shave a spinning log into continuous paper-thin wood ribbons for eco-friendly packaging sheets. Up to 50,000 tons of hydraulic force flatten a glowing steel billet into a precision disc, refining its grain structure and producing parts tough enough for turbines and aerospace. This heavy-duty Polar 78 hydraulic guillotine shears through thousands of book or magazine pages in a single slice, delivering razor-sharp edges that look absolutely flawless. Heat from the cutting edge turns metal chips iridescent blue and gold as they curl off the lathe. It's not a waste, it's accidental art. This compact multi-blade log saw instantly eats whole timber chunks, spitting out perfect parallel boards in one satisfying pass. That's how high-frequency ultrasonic waves blasting at 75 degrees Celsius dissolve decades of oil, carbon, and grime from every passage inside an engine block. Thousands of colorful yarn spools spin simultaneously on giant looms, weaving recycled plastic bottles into stunning, high-quality floor carpets. "200 slices per minute and 0 blade stick." Ultrasonic cheese slicers cut through blocks with extra precision, handling up to 300 kilograms of product every hour. Bright yellow liquid plastic shoots into a molding press, instantly curing into a fully formed cooling fan every few seconds. A CNC wire bender twists raw wire into a perfectly symmetrical Christmas tree silhouette in seconds, programming every curve and angle with machine. Injection molding machines stamp out up to 40,000 plastic bottle caps per hour using 84 kilowatts of power. Yeah, every cap you've ever opened started its life like this. Before a gas turbine rotor ever spins in service, it's run at operating speed in a high-speed balance machine, correcting imbalances measurable in ounces across a component weighing several tons. Even the most patient topiary artist would trade scissors for this. This nursery trimming machine rotates around each bush on a track, shaping it into a perfect sphere without a single manual snip. Highways get their lines faster than you'd expect. Thermoplastic road marking material gets heated to 200 degrees Celsius, applied in a clean pass, and hardens within minutes. This CNC router carves photorealistic landscape texture into paving mats, producing surfaces so lifelike you'd swear someone just peeled a patch of real earth off the ground. Old bricks fed in, rubble and dust out. Demolition crushers process up to 300 tons per hour, erasing entire buildings one load at a time. Modern paper machines race at up to 2,200 meters per minute, turning raw wood pulp into finished reels at the rate of 1,500 tons of paper per day. This bakery's conveyor system keeps every piece aligned and unbruised from oven to shelf. Rows of perfectly shaped buns cascading down bakery slides look almost too satisfying to eat. Stone cold satisfying every single pass. Diamond blades chew through solid granite blocks at up to 50 centimeters per hour. Layers by layers, frozen gelato stacks into a perfectly shaped dessert right inside the mold. Watching this Cremonesi's ice cream machine build each portion is pure ASMR. Glass fibers spiral wound around a rotating mandrel at 90 meters per minute, resin-soaked and curing as they go. That's how pipelines stronger than steel are born. Custom shoe painting requires the steadiest hand in the building. And here, every stroke and detail is applied with sub-millimeter precision. At up to 150 cups per minute, industrial paper cup machines stamp, seal, curl, and eject fully formed disposable cups faster than most people can count them. That's how analog sound is still born. Under 150 tons of hydraulic pressure, a preheated vinyl puck gets stamped with every groove of a custom record in under a minute. This CNC router traces every curve and contour of a wood pattern with fractions of a millimeter precision, turning a plain blank into intricately carved art in a single automated pass. Watch this giant forming press shape red-hot metal into a projectile in seconds. Every stroke is engineered to deliver identical dimensions at industrial scale. This rhythmic mechanical loom tightly weaves loose straw into immaculate, dense agricultural mats at a rapid factory pace. The plasma torch moves at up to 305 centimeters per minute, slicing through steel structural profiles with perfect accuracy and zero need for grinding or finishing afterward. From raw potato to sealed bag, a single industrial chip line cuts around 400 slices per minute, fries up to 1 ton per hour, and never takes a break. Taut steel wires slice right through an endless block of extruded clay, cutting perforated building bricks in one sweep. Industrial meat slicers hit up to 400 perfectly uniform portions per minute, processing 500 to 800 kilograms of product per hour, with zero variation in thickness. Up to 1,200 stitches per minute. That's how fast computerized embroidery machines execute intricate floral patterns, switching threads automatically without missing a single detail. A hydraulic press stamps a textured dye into liquid resin or composite panels under heat and pressure, producing repeatable 3D surface patterns across every panel. Every bottle of nail polish gets tumbled in a mixer to keep pigments perfectly suspended. Without this step, that streak-free color would separate before it ever reached the brush. Carl Grommel's CNC lathe peels a wooden blank into a three-dimensional Christmas tree with the best precision, producing in minutes what a skilled carver would need hours to achieve. This massive multi-axle modular transporter crawls forward, precisely balancing a colossal 100-ton industrial reactor vessel, even through tight city streets. CNC gear hobbing cuts slewing ring-bearing teeth in a single pass. These bearings, found in cranes and excavators, can reach 10 meters across. Clay squeezed through a vacuum extruder at up to 30,000 bricks per hour. Every one identical. Nothing complicated about it, just relentless, perfect output. Watching hundreds of identical lollipops pop out of the mold in perfect formation never gets old. So here's how hard candy is pressed into shapes under precise pressure and temperature. Such a giant cutting disc carves a solid steel cylinder with perfectionist precision, instantly shaping an intricately balanced engine crankshaft. Industrial bread slicers slice up to 75 loaves per minute in continuous production lines. Every loaf enters whole and exits perfectly portioned with no adjusting and no waste. Look as this razor-thin bandsaw glides straight through a massive frozen tuna, splitting it with incredible precision in a single pass. Runaway stripping machines apply thermoplastic markings in a single pass using airless spray systems at 230 bar pressure, painting lines over 1.25 meters wide with GPS-guided precision. Precision drip irrigation delivers water and nutrients directly to each grapevine's root zone at over 95% efficiency, giving winemakers exact control over sugar content, acidity, and yield per row. Now, enjoy how CNC lathe spinning square steel bar stock at thousands of RPM shaves corners down to a perfect cylinder in a single pass. These lime sorting lines scan up to 14 fruits per second per lane, grading every piece by size, color, and surface defect before routing it to the correct pack. Such a hydraulic press loaded with 800 to 1200 tons of force deep draws a flat stainless steel sheet into a complete kitchen sink in a single stroke, edges and bowl in one hit. This giant wooden press plate descends smoothly over thousands of fresh grapes, gently squeezing out rich juice for premium winemaking. This 7-axis CNC robot arm carves a marble structure to perfect accuracy, working 24 hours straight through what would take a master sculptor weeks to chisel by hand. Watch a single nozzle inject custard cream into profiterole after profiterole. Industrial lines like this fill up to 10,000 pieces per hour without a single bubble out of place. Right here, copper melted, cast, drawn through progressively smaller dies, then coiled at scale. The same gleaming tube ends up in AC units worldwide. Flat steel coils go in one end, and perfect roofing panels roll out the other at up to 40 meters per minute, enough to tile a house roof while you're still drinking your morning coffee. Grain bags sealed, stacked, and ready before you can blink. At up to 1,600 bags per hour, this machine does in one shift what a full warehouse crew couldn't finish in a week. Stone millstones still grind the best-tasting flour, and this machine proves it. Up to 500 kilograms of corn per hour, cold ground with every nutrient intact. Automatic potato bagging lines weigh, fill, and seal up to 800 bags per hour, each one within 0.01 kilogram of target weight with no overpacking. This synchronized Chantry assembly line showcases advanced robotic stations flawlessly attaching heavy track rollers to massive industrial construction bulldozers. Steel wire feeds in, and perfect coil springs come out at up to 200 per minute, a pace so relentless that CNC coilers outrun human hands by a factor of 10. Industrial potato peelers processing up to 5,000 kilograms per hour make every other kitchen prep tool look like it's moving in slow motion. Electrostatic charge does what brushes never could. Powder clings to every wire and corner of the mesh at once, forming a finish 10 times tougher than liquid paint. Corrugated cardboard sliced and stacked into cat scratchers at 60 sheets per minute. Somewhere out there, a cat is deeply unimpressed by all this effort on its behalf. Open-die hydraulic forging presses squeeze glowing metal at up to thousands of tons of force, slowly deforming the billet into shape. Watching 1200 degrees C steel bend like clay is genuinely impressive. One machine and 900 pods per minute. Each laundry capsule is filled, sealed, and cut from water-soluble PVA film before you've heard this sentence. Flipping oyster cages every 1 to 2 weeks tumbles the oysters together, breaking brittle growth and forcing deeper cuts and harder shells, turning rough juveniles into premium market products. This synchronized bottling conveyor smoothly glides hundreds of wine bottles through automated filling and corking stations every hour with absolute zero spill precision. Up to 8,000 square meters of artificial turf per day, tuffed, backed, and rolled. That's roughly a full football pitch worth of fake grass every few hours. This heated hydraulic press stamps out liquid silicone into vibrant iPhone cases every few seconds, neatly molding and trimming the edges with accuracy. Industrial tomato washers push up to 50 tons per hour through bubble jets, removing every trace of soil before the first jar of sauce is made. Colored vinyl presses work exactly like regular ones. 150 tons of pressure, 200 degrees C. The only difference is splatter patterns and two-tone swirls. Still music, just prettier. Up to 900 pieces of fruit labeled per minute, each sticker placed without bruising the skin. At that pace, an entire truckload gets tagged before it even finishes unloading. Robotic cabbage transplanters drop up to 6,000 seedlings per row per hour into perfectly spaced soil, adjusting row width at the touch of a button, and it looks perfect. These fully automatic roll-on deodorant lines handle up to 200 units per minute, from empty bottle to shelf-ready product without a single human hand touching them. Caramel tumbling drums rotate hundreds of pieces, coating every surface with sugar while hot air dries each layer. Watching it is genuinely hypnotic. Eating the result is even better. Counter-pressure canning locks carbonation in before the lid seals. Rotary craft canning systems run up to 300 cans per minute, so Monkey Brewing's beer never gets the chance to go flat. These pneumatic nail guns fire with such speed that a whole framed wall gets fastened in the time it takes to find a pencil. That's how 65,000 eggs per hour get transferred from tray to conveyor without a single crack. More eggs per minute than most people see in a month. You're surely going to enjoy how large-scale ice cream plants pump out up to 2,500 liters per hour through freezers, filling cups or cones at the same time. Watch this satisfying mechanism roll and round out perfect chocolate spheres by the thousands, transforming sticky cocoa paste into smooth, uniformly shaped truffles. Up to 400 tons of clay-coated rock flow through an industrial trommel scrubber every hour, spitting out clean, pure aggregate that downstream equipment couldn't otherwise handle. Flat cardboard becomes a sealed, finished box in one fluid motion. Automated case erectors close up to 30 units per minute, 10 times faster than any human worker. Between 4,000 and 12,000 perfectly rolled croissants leave a fully automated production line every hour. Dough sheeted, laminated, cut, and shaped perfectly. 12 heads, 15 needles each, firing 1,000 stitches per minute simultaneously. That's how a multi-head embroidery machine turns a t-shirt into a finished, branded garment. This automated food extruder shapes stuffed dough into dozens of delicate cookies every single minute, precisely portioning sweet fillings inside a perfectly sealed outer crust. A CO2 laser rotates a glass cup 360 degrees and burns a permanent frosted design into its surface in seconds. Precision measured in fractions of a millimeter. No contact required. Witness how dozens of cosmetic bottles spin through a specialized aerosol painting chamber, receiving a perfectly uniform, ultra-thin color coat. A CNC nesting machine cuts chair components from MDF or particle board sheets with 40% better material yield than manual methods. A single operator can run multiple boards simultaneously. These wire bending machines thread and crimp a spiral coil through a full notebook. Industrial models handle up to 3,000 books per hour, with one complete notebook every 1.2 seconds. Watching a CNC router trace a perfect ellipse through solid material is oddly satisfying. The tool follows the programmed path to within 0.033 millimeters. Forget flatbeds. A rotary 3D printer spins a cylinder and deposits filament directly onto the curved surface, printing 360 degrees around the object without supports or layer adhesion compromises. Your favorite glazed ring never stood a chance of being handmade, as one industrial donut line stamp, proof, fry, and glaze up to 1,000 donuts per hour. High-speed vial filling lines seal up to 400 containers per minute with plus or minus 0.5% fill accuracy, precise enough for vaccines, biologics, and injectable drugs, where a single milligram off is unacceptable. A lathe doesn't just cut metal, it restores it. Watch a corroded bolt get cleaned and turned back to spec in seconds, spinning at thousands of RPM against a cutting edge. Imagine how a multi-ton forging press delivers immense pressure to crush and deform thick, solid iron blocks into thin industrial components in just a single stroke. Metal chess queens don't cast themselves. A CNC milling machine works through rough, semi-finish, and finish passes to carve the piece from solid brass. This road watering truck covers 30,000 square meters of surface per hour, laying down a measured film of water across lanes to suppress dust before it enters someone's lungs. You gotta see how industrial bandsaw mills run blades at up to 1,525 meters per minute to slice logs into precise lumber. High-speed dry offset cup printers stamp up to 12,000 plastic cups per hour with 6 color designs, so your bubble tea cup goes branded before you can blink. Watch this ultra-sharp slicing disc at factory speeds, instantly turning solid dough loaves into micro-thin, perfectly translucent chips, ready for a commercial bake. This heavy-duty Tekka TPZ 3000 planetary mixer utilizes 3 counter-current mixing stars on a planetary path, churning out up to 2 cubic meters of homogeneous concrete per batch. Automated can flipping conveyors invert tin cans 180 degrees at over 200 units per minute, flawlessly repositioning each one for the next production stage. Steeped in 170 years of tradition, this historic mill uses heavy wooden mallets and hot water to interlock fibers, molding raw merino wool into classic Basque berets. Modern industrial meat slicers cut up to 400 portions per minute with double blade precision, slicing thicknesses as fine as 0.5 millimeters. Automatic spouted pouch fillers process up to 80 pouches per minute, filling, capping, and sealing liquid products with no manual handling at any stage. These commercial mat cleaners wash, extract moisture, and dry rubber or carpet mats in half a minute flat, so a full set of 4 vehicle mats is cleaned in under 2 minutes. Enjoy a machine, fold, and bag up to 550 garments per hour, as every shirt emerges from this production line creased, sealed, and shelf-ready in seconds. A spinning carbide blade shears the molded neck flash off plastic bottles at up to 5,000 units per hour. Clean, satisfying, and completely automatic. It's really impossible to stop watching. A single rod perfectly levels the surface in one pass. Here, metal mesh starts as a flat steel sheet and ends as an open diamond-patterned grid. The machine shears and stretches it in one action at up to 300 strokes per minute. Jewelry chain-making machines form, link, and close up to 6,000 individual metal links per minute, producing 80 to 120 meters of finished bracelet. Fiber laser cutting at up to 169 meters per minute. The beam slices steel with a kerf under 0.1 millimeter. Each cut is cleaner than anything a human hand could produce. Raw timber blanks go in one end, smooth broom and shovel handles come out the other. A CNC wooden handle line that rounds, sands, and finishes dozens of pieces. The world's fastest corrugated box making machine produces 350 boxes per minute, and with a dual slaughter unit running 2 boxes per sheet, that capacity doubles to thousands per hour. Since 1947, artisans cut candy by hand. But now, watching sugar stretch into jewel-colored ribbons and become confectionery is pure kitchen magic. "360 rhinestones per minute, heat bonded with pinpoint accuracy. Watching them snap onto fabric in perfect patterns is strangely impossible to look away from. Batter poured, cooked, and rolled off the line at up to 7,000 pancakes per hour. That conveyor never takes a breakfast break. Such automated parcel sorting conveyors process over 5,000 packages per hour, scanning labels and routing each box to its destination. Here, a strip of wood is fed through, pressed, and glued into a single solid board, and the result is stronger and more uniform than anything a tree grew on its own. Squad's concrete 3D printer built a 177 square meter home in just 48 hours of print time, using under $6,000 in materials. Hydraulic pipe fitting presses apply anywhere from 12 to 800 tons of force to cold-form steel connectors into exact shape with no heat required. Up to 1,500 bristle tufts punched per minute, each anchored precisely into the brush body. What looks like simple tools takes some seriously satisfying machinery to make. That's all for today's Mechanical Madness. Got a machine at your job that belongs in this video? Tell us everything in the comments. And if you liked this, the subscribe button is right there.